Well, both these teams come into the playoffs with new head coaches, at least first-year head coaches, we should say. The guy who's leading the Battlehawks into battle is on the sideline with our Brock Hewitt.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Kurt. Coach Kroll, you told us this week you're a windshield guy, not a rearview mirror. Yeah. But you also got to get over the playoff hump, and you'd address it with the team. What was that message?
Well, this team's different. Different coaches, different players. We just got to be efficient in what we do, protect the football, and just play field position and do the things that we're capable of doing, offensively, defensively, and special teams. We're as good as there is in this league, and we believe that.
How do you ignite the offense tonight?
Balance. Get the run game going, quick game, get some momentum going, get Louis feeling good, and then take shots when it presents itself.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, Ricky Proehl, the former St. Louis Ram and Carolina Panther. And there's Chris Redmond, who played with Baltimore Ravens in his first year as head coach. He is Louisville through and through, high school, college, and now trying to lead them to the title game in their first year of existence. As we welcome you to the UFL playoff, a reminder that is presented by New Era. Louisville won the toss, decided to defer, and so the Battlehawks will begin on offense. Luis Perez getting ready to take the field. Just a matter of finding out where he will start. Gary Jennings gets him off to a good start out to the 35-yard line, and that's where we will see Perez, who took over right about mid-season after being traded from Arlington.
Well, his experience obviously speaks for itself. He's got a 2-2 record, 255 yards per game. They like to throw the ball quite often, and it's actually a bit of a surprise to me just because of how well they play defense. They've got to minimize mistakes. I mentioned that early in the open. Perez has 6 interceptions. They've thrown as a team, Kurt, 15 interceptions. They have to avoid the big mistake here today.
As a team, they've thrown more interceptions than touchdowns on the year. First play from scrimmage, Jarvion Howard gets the carry. And a short pickup on the first play from scrimmage. Who should we keep our eye on when St. Louis has the ball?
Well, one of them's Jarvion Howard. Terrific back. He's actually the leading rusher in the UFL. And then the big play, receiver on the outside, Hakeem Butler. He is a matchup nightmare. It's going to be tough to stop him, but this defense is playing incredibly well. Cam Gill's got 10 sacks on the year, and Corey Mayfield Jr., he leads a secondary that is a ball-hawking secondary. He's got 4 picks on the year.
They give it to Howard again on second down. He is stopped just about a yard short of the first down, our first third down.
Well, this is an offense that has been able to move the football, there's no doubt, but they have struggled putting up points here down the stretch. That's something that they're going to need to correct here in this game. And that's a great stop by Louisville on that third down.
Eric Garreau, the first guy to get there, along with Mekhi Garner. And they're going to spot it just short of the first down.
They're going to keep the offense out there right now. Now, they can punt this. Remember, they're not across the 50-yard line, so if they wanted to punt this football, they could certainly do that. And now the punt team looks like they're going to run out, and the play clock is going to be winding down. Not a place for a timeout. Well, look, they're going to get a new play clock there. I think they were looking for a measurement at one point, and so the officials gave them a new play clock, and they'll be able to punt this away. This is the right call. If you're St. Louis and you've got the best defense in the league, the last thing you want to do is put that defense out there with a short field. So Ricky Proehl, good decision early. I'm sure he wanted to go for it, but I think this is the right call.
This is Ryan Sanborn, the all-UFL punter, with a booming kick. Lucky Jackson falling forward at the 25-yard line, and there is where Mr. Rogers will begin.
I tell you, Chandler Rogers has been so good for this Louisville team. How about that 5-1 record, 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but it's really just his leadership and his presence. You know, when we're talking with this coaching staff and this team, they all say the same things. And Kurt, it is that Chandler Rogers rises the level of all the boats around him, meaning that everybody gets better because he's on the field. And what a challenge he has in front of him here today. The league's best defense staring at him here at 1st and 10.
He has been the difference in this team that won 4 straight down the stretch. So is this guy, James Robinson. the former Jacksonville Jaguars. Short gain on first down. Who should we watch when Louisville has it?
They got two very good backs, James Robinson and Ian Wheeler, and that was the other part. It was not only Chandler Rogers getting into the lineup as the starting quarterback, but it was their commitment to the run game and their efficiency in the run game. Their last 4 games over 172 yards per game, but they're facing a defense that can flat get after it. Carlos Davis, the nose tackle, he's the key to this defense, and then there's Bita Daumuapenu. There's a great pass rusher on the outside when you get behind the sticks like they are here.
They fake the handoff. Rogers just drops it right over the middle. Lucky Jackson with the catch and the first down.
This is a beautiful throw by Chandler Rogers because he's sprinting over to his left, Kurt. Watch, he's going to be going momentum this direction, and yet he's able to get his hips and his shoulders flipped around and throwing it almost behind himself right there into a hole, and he gets a nice completion to Lucky Jackson, and they're able to move the sticks.
11 yards out to the 39. Rogers from the shotgun. Steps it up, and it is complete just across the 46-yard line. There's Jackson again.
I tell you, and Brock, you know as well as anybody, as a quarterback, you know, you can influence the confidence of everybody around you, and that's certainly the case with this Chandler Rogers offense.
Yeah, and a much better start here. Remember, these two teams matched up 5 weeks ago, and it was not competitive for this offense. It was really since that game they've had a bounce. They got nothing going the first time in the matchup. Much better rhythm to begin this one.
3 points in that one. They couldn't protect the quarterback. They were 2 of 14 on third down.
Gave up 6 sacks, but that's the only loss they've had since Rogers started, and they're going to get off to a great start here. Robinson all the way for the touchdown. Right out of the gates, 53 yards, and Louisville's on the board.
What a job by the right side of that offensive line, including the tight end. It looks like Trey McKitty in there. Watch this block by the tight end. This is just textbook stuff. He's going to mash down this side of the defensive line. That's the hole right there, and it's a bounce back cut. James Robinson is gone, all because you got great blocking at the point of the tag, in particular from the tight end. Just textbook stuff. And how about that start from a team that only scored 3 points a few weeks ago against the St. Louis team?
But this is how they played since scoring only 3 points in that game. There's a flag down a little bit early. Movement by Louisville.
Full start.
Come up a little
Offense,
bit more,
number 96. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
this team has run for over 200 yards each of the last 2 games.
I mean, what a start for Chris Redmond and this crew on the road, quieting the crowd down, and they do it with the run game, exactly like they have been doing it the last 4 weeks. Getting a fast start from James Robinson, who's been one of the better backs in the league. He was inactive a week ago, but boy, how about that? Welcome back to the lineup, James Robinson.
And now they officially get the extra point. 4 plays, 74 yards, and a big-time run. James Robinson puts Louisville up, and you think his head coach loved it? You don't have to ask.
Go, baby! Go, baby! Go, baby! Let's go! Go, go! Let's go! Let's...
Well, they were locked up in man coverage here, St. Louis was. Watch Jordan Mosley. He's going to be in man coverage on Davison, the other tight end. So as Davison goes this way, he takes himself out of the play. You get the mash down from the right side of the offensive line, and then it's gone. James Robinson with a beautiful cutback. But now you're going to have to look at the adjustments here for St. Louis. Clearly, they try to go man coverage, load the box, stop the run. But because of that crossing action with the 2 tight ends in the game with Zach Davidson and Trey McKitty, now they're going to have to make an adjustment. That's Corey Chamblin, the defensive coordinator. He's certainly done a great job here with the league's best defense, but now it's going to be on him to look at a different coverage and probably not be in man, in particular when they get into those bunch sets with multiple tight ends on the field.
They came in with the number 1 ranked overall defense, number 1 against the run, and in one play, all that means nothing. Here's Gary Jennings out across the 30-yard line, and we'll see if St. Louis can answer.
Brock, quite a start for this Louisville team. St. Louis needs to answer.
Yeah, and one thing to keep an eye on, boys, is the all UFL center, Mike Panashuk, really good player. Injured a calf in warm-ups. He is out for the game. So Sincere Hainsworth, left guard, slides to center. That is a significant blow to that line of scrimmage.
Not only all UFL this year, he's been all UFL 3 straight years. So as good a lineman as there is in this league.
Ready to go.
Perez under pressure. Wisely throws that one out of bounds, incomplete. Jalen Allen was bringing the heat.
Well, going back to that center, Mike Panashuk, and Brock, as you know, yes, it's about protection and getting off the line of scrimmage in the run game and everything that goes on with blocking up front. But as a center, you also make all the calls.
Yeah.
So it's the communication up front that's going to be strained.
It's like a catcher in baseball. It just settles everybody else around you. And when without him, you feel the loss.
Quick pass. Caught out on the sideline. Stephen McBride. Let's hear what the third down call is.
Silver. X off the trips left up. 861. H&F smoke wide shoot. Silver. X off the trips left up. 861. H&F smoke wide shoot. X off. Smoke. Go.
Butler motioning out of the backfield there.
Ready to go.
Just trying to find a way maybe to get him the ball. A dangerous weapon. Perez throws it over the middle. That's caught instead by Sal Cannella, the tight end. Just his third game back, but he was an all-UFL player last season with the Battlehawks.
Well, and they signed him because Tyler Neville, their normal tight end, he got hurt and went to the IR, so they went and got Sal Cannella. That's a beautiful little jerk route right there. He's in man coverage against a linebacker. He gives a little outside move with his shoulders. He gets back to the inside, and Perez stays patient and finds the completion.
Hey, look at me.
First down right at midfield.
Viper, ready to go.
Kylan James, his first carry of the game. Dragged down from behind by LaRon Stokes.
We're in white, right? Okay, blue. Okay, exit the ace left, Y on, 590D, Z snag. Exit the ace left, Y on, 590D, Z snag.
Hey, you're attached, you got the slant. 590. Go ahead.
76 is leaning back too,
Go.
Say yes. Ready to go. Hut.
Perez to James out of the backfield. Kind of slithers his way down to the 43-yard line. Here's the third down call from A.J. Smith.
White. Sal in at Y. Here we go. 53 flip X bow Y coin. 53 flip X bow Y coin.
53. Check swing, 53, check swing. Going right now.
X bow Y coin. Ready to go.
They need the 40. Perez looking across the 40-yard line. It is caught. Cannella with the first down for St. Louis.
How about Sal Cannella? And remember, Sal Cannella and Perez, they have a history playing together with the Dallas Renegades in the UFL. So these guys are comfortable with one another. And Brock, they're doing a nice job getting the ball out of Perez's hand right now. Cam Gill's got those 10 sacks. That ball is out quick.
Yeah, that was exactly the focal point all week in practice. Get back, simplify the scheme, and get the ball out of Luis's hands.
Hut.
Little trick play. Coming around is Gary Jennings, gets a block, but then takes a big hit. Keaton Ellis brings him down. Good open field tackle made by Ellis, holding him to just 5 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Trying to get some misdirection. Here's Cam Gill. He's going to be on that side. And look what he does. He does a great job of forcing that one back to the interior. So not just a great pass rusher, but also on the edge. You're the contained player. It has to go inside of him. It does. And that's what allows Cam Dantzler to come up and make the tackle.
Gill, a candidate for MVP, one of the 4 finalists as a defensive player this year. Here's Perez. Wide open, Stephen McBride. First down and more inside the 20. And St. Louis trying to answer that opening touchdown by Louisville.
I tell you, Stephen McBride has become a really solid target in the last 3 weeks for Luis Perez in this Battlehawks offense. He's led the team each of the last 3 weeks in catches. And it's plays like that, you know, where Perez is feeling the pressure. He needs to dump it down to a check down, something on the outside, and he's able to find Stephen McBride for an easy completion and a first down.
You see averaging 90 yards over the last 3 weeks. Picks up 13 there.
Hut.
James. Luis Perez held onto that as long as he could. It winds up being just a short half-yard
Hey,
gain.
you to trips left. No, hum to trips left. Hum to trips left. Broncos slow stare wide Dusty. Hum to trips left. Broncos slow stare wide Dusty.
Broncos slow stare. Broncos slow stare. Why Dusty? Remember? You got it?
You get into the red zone, I'm just looking for 88.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Butler has got to be a target on one of the next 2 snaps.
Ready to go.
Led the league in receiving, but he is a huge target.
Hut.
Haven't gone to him yet. Perez lofts it up the other side. Incomplete, intended for McBride. He was there step by step with Corey Mayfield.
Hey, Brock, that's when you got a formation correct. Butler has to be your single receiver. You're going to throw a fade. It's got to be to Butler.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And a little surprised that Canella not on the field for that last snap as well. You get to the red zone, and you know this. It's about matchups, right? You can call your base stuff, get everybody involved, but you get down to the money area into the red zone, your matchup mismakers have got to get the ball.
Yeah, that's right. And Canella's going to be bottom of your screen. He's the inside receiver to the slot. There he is right there, part of the quads. And then Butler's up top.
Perez looking for Butler. Goes up. Made the catch, but out of bounds. Cam Dantzler there with him. Just forced him to not be able to get his feet in with the pressure.
Well, Dantzler does a great job of using that sideline as an extra defender. Watch, he's in sink coverage, so he just sinks right away, and then he just forces Butler over the sideline. But as a quarterback, you've got to throw that one inbounds. Give your guy a chance, in particular when it's Butler. He's 6'6", 245 pounds. You can't lead him out of bounds. That's an error on the throw from Luis Perez.
And so Ramiz Ahmed will come on to attempt the 37-yard field goal. And the Battlehawks are now on the board. So Ricky Prohl's squad gets points out of the drive. It's a 7-2 ball game early on in this UFL semifinal. Well, earlier we mentioned these two teams played week 6, their only meeting, and it was a dominant performance by St. Louis, especially their defense. 6 sacks. They held the Kings offense to a season-low 3 points. Chandler Rogers, that was his only loss as a starter. That was only his second game as a starter as well. 16-3 was the final. And not only did they sack them and shut down the pass game, look at this, they only had 12 yards rushing, but suddenly Louisville has turned the table in one drive.
Not only one drive, 4 plays.
Yeah.
I mean, they went right down the field. Beautiful job on that long rushing touchdown for Louisville, and they'll come right back on the field. I can't wait to see the adjustments that St. Louis make on that front 7, because that's a great front 7. There was clearly some mistakes up front. You've got to do a better job, in particular on the edge. We'll see if they can do that.
Tyler Hudson on the return. And he is stopped at the 35-yard line. All right, take a look at Louisville and all the points scored in the game since Rogers took over. They scored 30 or more in every game except that one against St. Louis in week 3 when they had only 3 points. I hope you bought the dip because their stock has been moving since then.
Buy low, sell high. I got to tell you, this is, you know, the old adage, any sport, play your best at this time of year in the playoffs. And I think, listen, it's hard to argue. I know DC won the other side, and they're going to be in the United Bowl, but I don't know of a team that's played better in the last few weeks than this Louisville Kings team.
And the winner of this game will play DC in DC for the United Bowl championship next week. Bouncing off tacklers is Tariq Black. Big gain on first down, and Louisville picking up right where they left off on the opening drive.
Look at the confusion. You've got this motion going across. It's going to draw several Battlehawks over, and Brock right now, they can't communicate on that side of the ball. This Battlehawks team, they are confused on defense.
And don't you just love the tempo the Louisville's playing with as well? Just on the road, hostile environment, take it right to them.
19 yards on that play. The handoff, Ian Wheeler, pardon me. short 1-yard gain.
You know, as a play caller, Brock, as you know, it can be so easy to fall into the trap of saying, oh, there's going to be crowd noise, it's going to be tough on the road. Let's get into static formations and let's make things operationally easy for our quarterback. But the really good play callers know that you've got to put pressure on the defense by being exotic. That's what they're doing right now.
And trusting, right? Really trusting this quarterback who's gotten this offense going.
Rogers out of the backfield. Wheeler. And it brings up 3rd down. Hogan, their offensive coordinator.
76, F-Sword, alert Rattler. Roar, 76, F-Sword, alert Rattler.
Let's go. Roy 76, F4, alert Rattler on the right. Ready.
Remember, can't punt here.
Because they've crossed the 50-yard line. Once you do, you're not allowed to punt in the UFL. Four-man rush. Rogers. Isaiah Winstead. A little confusion there, I think.
But they're right at that 42-yard line, and you know what that means, boys. It's 4-point field goal attempt time. Here we go with the best kicker in the UFL.
Louisville is attempting a 4-point field goal.
Tanner Brown. He is 25 of 28, long of 60. He is terrific.
So he's made one worth 4 points this year. He'll try and do a second one. The all-UFL kicker, most field goals made in the league this year from 60 yards out. Worth 4 points, and that's easy. The leg comes through. 2 possessions, 2 exciting scores for Louisville. A 53-yard touchdown run, and now a 60-yard field goal worth 4 points. And just like that, they're on top, 11-3. 4 days and counting. The biggest World Cup ever comes to America as Christian Pulisic and the U.S. men's national team kick off their World Cup dream on a huge night of music, stars, and celebration in Los Angeles this Friday. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock Eastern with the match at 9 Eastern right here on Fox as the USA takes on Paraguay. Well, not really soccer-style kickers, but the UFL has done a great job of putting several kickers into the National Football League, and Tanner Brown has a chance to be the next one after kicking that 60-yard field goal here in his playoff game as Gary Jennings brings it back for St. Louis.
I gotta say, guys, last week I might have been a little unfair against the kickers, including the punter who's holding right now, Mac Brown. This is incredible, right? When you got a weapon like Tanner Brown, Mac Brown has also been great as a punter. He had that great tackle last week. These guys, you know, as a quarterback, that provides you so much comfort knowing that you don't have to take a chance with the football once you get the ball across the 50, across the 45-yard line, and he goes out there and buries it.
Go.
He is a weapon.
Hut.
Here on first down. Jarvian Howard with 4-yard pickup. Brock, when you
go
ahead.
Yeah, I'll say this too. There was no hesitation about that kick. And part of the reason in catching up with Chris Redmond during the timeout was he hit from 66 in warmups. So there was no hesitation that once they got to 60, he was going to be good. So what you do in warmups, that matters too.
And being indoors certainly didn't hurt him.
Roger 19. Viper, ready to go.
Perez to Howard out of the backfield. Gets away from a tackler and picks up the first. Good second effort made by Jarvian Howard. Nick Kubitz was the guy who eventually wrapped him up after a 10-yard pickup.
Yeah, one of the things I really love about Jarvian Howard, whether you're handing him the football or throwing it to him like this right at our drone cam, what a cool look here that we get in the UFL, is his ability to make guys miss and run through arm tackles. He was able to do that right there. Kubitz just can't get him down to the ground, and he's able to get out on the outside and pick up the first down. Real weapon for this Battlehawks team. Even though as a team they haven't rushed the ball incredibly well, he has been a bright spot running the football, and he certainly does a great job breaking tackles.
To the 48. Once again, out of the backfield, Howard, and he's brought down. Awkward tackle made as he stopped right there at the 49-yard line into Louisville territory. Jaheim Thomas with the tackle.
Other than a couple of those fade routes that were thrown out of bounds, Brock, they are not throwing the ball down the field. I think there's a lot of respect for this secondary that has 13 picks on the year.
Yeah, and too many interceptions by Luis and the Battlehawks.
Ready to go.
Might be the final play of the quarter. Perez. That one knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And it will be the final play of
That's
the quarter.
End of the first quarter.
And a good quarter it's been to start this semifinal game. The winner moves on to take on the defending champion DC Defenders in the United Bowl next week. In spring football, we saw the Birmingham Stallions win 3 championships in a row. Now the DC Defenders will have a chance to run it back and win back-to-back. They knocked off the #1 seed Orlando earlier today, and they will host the winner of this game on Saturday on ABC for the UFL Championship in the United Bowl, which will come your way from DC with 50 Cent performing a halftime show. It should be a good one. Jason Bean now the quarterback for DC, and he started off the year as Louisville's quarterback, so it could be a rematch if Louisville can hang on, but right now we got a long way to go. First play of the second quarter. Here's Luis Perez being flushed out. Throws that one along the sideline and dancing and just hanging on. Frank Darby makes the catch.
Well, they wanted to go to Butler there, but now across the 50-yard line, they can't punt. Probably just outside of field goal range based on what we saw in warm-ups, Brock, and here they're going to have to go for it on 4th down.
And they're trying to move Akeem around, right? He's in that 3 spot in that slot again.
Akeem Butler, number 88.
Yep. Hut.
They look that way. Perez throws it that way. But it's McBride making the catch and the run afterwards. Down to the 25. They needed 3. We get a lot more than that. Give him 20.
Well, how about the pressure he faced in the pocket? And he's able to just stand in there. He wants Akeem right here, but you can see the defense. They're all going to fly towards Akeem Butler, and now he's going to get the route right behind him, and he's got all that traffic, and he's able to just get the ball away before he gets hit. That's Cam Gill almost there, and Gill threw him down to the ground. Probably should have gotten the flag. That was a late spin, throws him down, does not get the flag, but it's a 1st down for St. Louis.
Ready to go. Hut.
High snap. Perez over the middle of the field. Butler dropped it. He's not going to get more open than that the way they pay attention to him, and he just couldn't hang on.
It was wide open, Brock. They've been talking about this on the sideline, those little RPOs, and Butler has felt like he's been open. He's not been more open than that and just dropped it.
Just took his eyes off, right? Just felt the safety there. Got to secure it, got to watch the fingers wrap around the ball, as I like to say to young receivers, and even old receivers fall short of the fundamentals.
And Keaton Ellis, the safety, number 2, he got stuck way too wide in that formation. They won't make that mistake again.
You don't see that from Butler, the league's leading receiver, very often. They go to the air again. This time it's James Bostic, and Bostic moved the chains.
I tell you, Bostic doesn't have a ton of catches this year, but they're able to put him in that little flex area as a tight end. He just runs a corner, and that was a clear miscommunication from the secondary.
And St. Louis hurries up to the line of scrimmage. Jarvie and Howard. Defensive coordinator for Louisville, Jamie Sharper, the former Baltimore Raven.
Able, money, single. Just single. All we're doing is single. Able, money, single.
St. Louis has done a great job of moving Butler around, to Brock's point. And we have seen Cam Dantzler follow him around. Dantzler is 6'2", and that's the matchup at the top of your screen. Looks like man up there. You've got Butler, and you've got Dantzler. And ball's got to go there, doesn't it?
They're thinking about it, but they go the other way. Some contact in the end zone. Stephen McBride, the intended receiver, and Corey Mayfield, the old UFL defensive back, on the coverage, and may have been too close.
Pass interference, defense number 2. This foul occurred in the end zone by rule. The ball is placed at the 1-yard line. with an automatic first down.
Well, I thought McBride ran a great route here to the inside of Mayfield. Watch as he gets to the inside shoulder, and at that point, look at that shimmy right there, and Mayfield gets stuck. All his weight on his heels, his feet stop, and all he can do is reach out, grab the jersey. Correct call, and a great chance here for St. Louis inside the 5.
Ready to go.
First and goal. Here we go.
Hut.
Howard into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Well, even after the Butler drop, they're able to get the ball in the end zone. Great job taking advantage of that penalty. And there's Howard and that power I was telling you about. At contact, he's able to get himself into the end zone. And here down 2, and they're going to actually take the extra point. Thought they would go for 2 here in an 11-9 game, but they'll go for 1 here and try to kick it.
Maybe thinking a lot of time left to play. Ramiz
Man, come on, give me a flag.
Ahmed on to kick it. And he gets the extra point through. And so it's a 1-point contest. Jarvian Howard led the UFL in rushing this season, but believe it or not, this is his first touchdown all year, and it comes at an opportune time in this playoff game against Louisville. Louisville, tough way to fall to 0-3.
Chris Redmond trying to get the Kings in the win call. Kings got the edge, slides down at the 1-yard line.
So here's the first pro start in the career of Chandler Rogers.
Oh my goodness, he's blasted.
Chandler Rogers back on the field after that big hit.
Rogers to the end zone, touchdown. The Louisville Kings, winners of 6 of their last 7, move into the postseason red hot.
Probably no team playing better football than Chris Redmond's Louisville Kings going into the playoffs. And they lead this playoff contest at St. Louis by 1 early on in the second quarter. And really, we talked about the difference maker. On offense, at least, the change at quarterback. They started 0-3 under Jason Bean, switched to Chandler Rogers. Here's Tyler Hudson bringing it out for Rogers, who started about the 25. And we saw the big hit that Rogers took there, and that was just in his first start as a quarterback. Teams can go 2 ways when that happens and you made a change at quarterback. You're not winning. You're not doing well. This team responded.
Well, as a quarterback, you've got to understand that you set the bar of expectation. And when you respond like that to an adverse situation, you bounce right back up. He came out through a touchdown pass. Everybody else around you is going to get a level of energy and hope, knowing that no matter what happens on the football field, your quarterback is going to be right there facing adversity, bouncing back. And that level of expectation has resonated with this group, along with some switching up on the offensive line, and they have responded in a huge way.
Here's James Robinson, who had that 53-yard touchdown run on the opening drive. You know, if you go back to training camp, there were some people in the organization and on that team that thought maybe coming out that Rogers had won the job against Jason Bean. Bean started the year, and then after the 0-3 start, got a win, but then got traded to D.C.
Well, sometimes you just got to get your chance, right, under the live lights, and he's certainly taken advantage of that. He's also excelled throwing the ball in intermediate zones. And when you've got a run game, and then you can throw the ball in those intermediate zones between 10 and 20 yards down the field, then you can put pressure on the second level of the defense. That's really been the key to what they've done offensively.
Here's Rogers to the air, zips that one out. And it is caught by Tariq Black. Brock.
Yeah, and I would just say this too, Joel. I agree with you, changing expectations. It also gives you a chance to show your toughness. And when your quarterback pops up like that and he is unfazed physically, I don't know, man. That just, I think, sends a resounding message to all your teammates as well.
Yeah, there's no excuse for anybody else, right? I mean, you've got to bounce back as well. And he certainly set that level of expectation for this group, and they've responded.
So is this Battlehawk crowd here on third down. They're making noise. Rogers dancing. No one to throw to. Flag down on the play in the backfield.
I think they're going to get a hold here on Tunstall. 71.
Holding. Offense number 71. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
And that was on Tunstall.
And there's that pass rush, fellas. You know, this St. Louis team, that's their bread and butter. They get you behind the sticks. They get a little crowd noise going here in the dome, and they can get after the quarterback. And Rodgers certainly felt the pressure on that last snap.
And so the first defensive stand we've had forces Mac Brown to punt. Sean Fresh, who led the UFL in punt return yards, takes it inside the 20. A couple of dance moves. It's about 7-8 yards. 50 yards on the punt, 11 officially on the return. There is a flag down on the play as well.
It's on them? Hey, is that on them?
The kicking team. Okay, so after the play, personal foul and necessary roughness, number 19, the kicking team.
Half the distance to the goal.
Wait, if it's by the kicking team, we're going to come back this way. So we're going to tack it on.
Yes, this way.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 19. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, timeout on the field.
How often do you hear a roughing penalty on the punter? Unnecessary roughness. Mac Brown, tough guy.
Has come out tonight, and Luis Perez, he's been throwing the ball short, trying to get the ball out of his hand. Remember, Cam Gill on the other side for Louisville's got 10 sacks. So what do? You get the ball out of the hand of your quarterback, and Perez has done a great job here, just in time, out to Stephen McBride. And McBride has been a real bright spot for them on this offense. 3 catches already. He drew the PI in the end zone, put him at the 1-yard line, and Perez off to a really nice start, protecting the football, 10 of 15, 91 yards. And Brock, he doesn't have to go out there to try to win the game. He needs to protect the football, play clean, and allow this defense to go to work.
Yeah, and I think his best play, Joel, frankly, was that third down where he stood in there. We talked about the toughness on the other side of Chandler, standing and delivering, taking a shot. Probably the biggest play on that touchdown drive.
Quick pass out, first catch of the game for Hakeem Butler, but everyone in Grace surrounds him right away. He draws attention, doesn't he?
He does, and you can tell that was, I think, Brock on the sideline, they were thinking to themselves, we've got to get 88 the football right now, and so they just dial up a little outside screen.
Yeah, I think especially coming off that last drop down in the red zone on that last drive, not only do you want to get them involved, but you want to flush that out of the memory as well.
Butler was the Offensive Player of the Year in the UFL 2 seasons ago, led the league in receptions, receiving yards this season, and has a chance to make it 2 out of 3. Blitz picked up. Perez, Darby, mistimed it.
Had him. He was wide open. Darby can't believe it. Now, to Perez's defense, he has got Louisville Kings all over him in the backfield. But watch Darby, another breakdown in coverage right here. Great move on the double, and then the ball is thrown way too far outside. Another one, third time he's thrown it outside, but that was the pressure coming from the outside. Again, Cam Gill just a half step away from Perez before he lets go of the ball, and there's the frustration from Darby knowing that he's got a touchdown if that's thrown to the inside.
Ready to go.
Instead, it's 3rd and 8. Whistles blow before the snap.
Got a late snap.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's on Spencer Rolland.
Well, this offensive line, they're certainly having to pay attention to Cam Gill. What a year he's had. He's one of the 4 finalists for the MVP of the entire league as the defensive end. 10 sacks in the regular season. That's a UFL record. And you can tell he's already been, 2-3 times half step away from Perez before he let go of the football.
And remember, St. Louis playing without their all-UFL center, Mike Panashuk, who went out early with an injury. Here's Perez along the sideline. McBride, another catch. And McBride going to pick up the first down. They needed 13, he got 14.
Yeah, great job on the outside for this offensive line of taking care of the pass rusher. That's a beautiful job by Garage on the left tackle spot, and it allows Perez time to come out and find a completion, and there's McBride again. Again, he's been the leading receiver each of the last 3 weeks. Perez has a special connection with Stephen McBride. That's already his 4th of the night.
Here's James on the carry. He'll pick up maybe a yard. And the other thing to keep in mind, now that they have crossed the 50, they can't punt.
That's right. And Brock, I think if I'm looking at St. Louis offensively, and you're over there on that sideline right now, you know, when they've got Butler in the slot, I feel like that's when they've been most effective, and they've been really disrupting the coverage structure for Louisville.
Yeah, and I think that's freeing up the McBrides and the Canellas in one-on-one situations, and Akeem's got to realize that as much as he wants the ball, he's influencing the game with his impact.
Perez brings it down, throws it too high for James out of the backfield. Third down.
All right, we're in two down territory. We're in 2 down territory. Okay. Give me, hey, X switch, Ocean 11. X switch, Ocean 11. Is Jarvion in? Jarvion, go. Jarvion's coming in.
Come out here and signal for me, Brad.
Some personnel issues right now for St. Louis.
Hey, 50.
Wanted to get Jarvion Howard
50.
and Kylan James in
50,
instead of the
50.
backfield.
Hey. Viper. For the long NASCAR.
Smart timeout.
Yeah, they just decide we're confused.
Timeout.
Let's settle
St.
down
Louis,
here.
they're first. 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was 50. Yeah, that's why I called
If we call X switch, really show it. Right, really show it.
We good, boys.
That you might have to wrap if your guy falls off on the 6-7.
These pump? Yes, fuck yeah. Hold on, wait. Yes.
Third left pass, right?
Hey, what do you want?
White.
Yeah, wait, 0.
Trey left, flex, 53, wide choice. Here we go. Trey left, flex, 53, wide choice, H levels, F tack. White, Trey left, flex, flip 53, wide choice, H levels, F tack.
Hey, 53, I want ready. Hey, flip, F tack, over here. Yes, flip 53, F tack. Here we go.
Don't give him none.
Ready to go. Hard.
Perez. Too high for James again out of the backfield. And will bring up 4th down.
This is outside of their range. They're going to have to go for this.
We got to go. Stay in.
NASCAR.
Ramiz Ahmed's long this year's 46, and you heard the play caller A.J. Smith saying before 3rd down, this is 2-play territory, so they knew they were not going to kick it. Needing to get it to the 37-yard line of Louisville.
Fast check.
Perez under pressure, brought down, ran out of time. First sack of the ball game by Louisville. LaRon Stokes and Cam Gill, who led the league and set the record in sacks this year, are the guys who share this one, and that shuts down St. Louis and their hopes on offense, and it gives Louisville the ball in St. Louis territory. That defense coming through. Louisville will take over in St. Louis territory, and anyone facing this St. Louis defense all season long has had a tough task. 31 sacks to lead the league. Overall, they were the #1 team in total defense and #1 against the run. This defense is the reason that St. Louis got to 6-4 this season and back into the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year.
Well, what they've got great players on the interior with Carlos Davis. They've got hard edges with Pita Damuapenu and Travis Feeney. That makes it really tough on any offense.
They're on 1st down, pressure coming, and they get their first sack of the day. Levante Bentley and Michael Ojamadia.
Well, you talk about getting after the quarterback. Look at them. They're all getting after Chandler Rogers in the backfield. He's got nowhere to go with this football. They're trying to get a little bit of a choice route down the field and just develops way too slowly. And you can see the pressure get home. That ball needs to get out. He's hot right there, Brock. You don't have enough protecting you. That ball needs to get out of his hand much quicker.
Yeah, that looked like pump block defense.
7-yard loss on the sack. Little end around, run by Tariq Black. Tripped up and falls forward to the 45. Jordan Mosley with the stop in the open field.
Boy, that's a great stop from Mosley, because if he's able to just skirt that one tackle, you're going to see the misdirection, and they've got the fast flow. You see all that blue coming out that way, and then all the way from the free safety position, Jordan Mosley comes up, makes a great tackle at the legs of Tariq Black.
So it brings up 3rd and 8. Pressure coming. Rodgers going up top, incomplete, intended for Zach Davidson. Jordan Mosley there on the coverage.
I'll tell you, that's a good ball. Brock, he's got pressure breathing down his face, and he's got his tight end, Zach Davidson, and this is the only knock on Davidson. He leads the UFL, the tight ends and catches, but again, that hits him in the hands. He's got 5 drops on the year.
Yeah, if anything, Joel, maybe just a little bit of touch, a little bit of air, but you're right, that hits him in the hands. That's a play on the road in the playoffs you got to make.
He does it, and so it's 4th and long. The crowd gets loud. Low snap. Rodgers, nowhere to go. Travis Feeney shut him down, and this St. Louis defense answers the call. The drop by Davidson certainly didn't help, but we told you how good this defense has been all year long, and St. Louis shows why they were number 1.
This is a great job by this defense. Watch this formation that they line up in. It's all about alignment. So watch right here. You've got Carlos Davis. He's inside of the guard. Now he hops to the outside of the guard. As soon as that happens, he takes the guard. Feeney is now open on that stunt. So you loop around the linebacker. Now you create a little seam in there for Feeney. It's just also icing on the cake that snap is low and drop. But that was all designed for Feeney in there to get pressure on Chandler Rodgers. That's exactly what happened. That's a really good job by Corey Chamblin of knowing who he's got personnel-wise, understanding that Carlos Davis, he's going to cross the face of that guard, and now James Tunstall, the guard, he's got to take him, and that's why Feeney was wide open on that rush.
And that felt like a big stop for momentum for this St. Louis defense. Pardon me, that's Matulis here on 1st down, just a short gain of a yard. Brock.
Yeah, and you know what I love about that, Kurt? Joel was just highlighting your ability to finish that stunt, but you told me it's the big boys in front of you.
Oh, man, when you got the big boys that they got to rely on and they got to focus on, leaves free gaps for you. You know, the big boys are pressing in that pocket, leaves tight edges, able to slip in there and go get it.
Does it, in some weird way, help to get punched in the face like you all did on that opening drive?
Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%, man, wakes you up. You know, you think we were sleeping a little bit, but that woke us back up. We back at it.
Appreciate it. 2025 Man of the Year in the UFL, too.
And go Dogs always.
All right, that's Travis Feeney. So Canelo with the catch. He stopped just short of the 1st down.
I thought we were going to get a go Dogs from Brock there.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
I know, right? Brock, I mean, come on.
No. I'm a pro.
That's some UW love. Let's go.
I was waiting for it.
By the way, Brock's youngest daughter, Maisie, going to star on UW's basketball team next year. So excited for that one, Brock.
The tradition continues here. Big stop on 3rd down, brings up another 4th. Cam Gill with a stop.
4th and 1, Joel. 4th and 1.
Okay, yeah, focus.
So 4th and 1 here. Listen, I think that you've got to have Jarvion Howard on the field. He's so physical in these types of situations, and he's in the backfield with Luis Perez. Perez is not going to hurt you with his legs. I think that they would just run this one. Nope, now he's going to come back into the backfield. It's got to go to Howard, doesn't it?
He's lined up.
Hut. Yep.
He may have gotten the defense to jump offside.
Do you have NZI?
Josiah Bronson moved early.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 91. That 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Brock, that's experience from your quarterback right there.
Yeah, I like that. I like the little motion, right, to see early what kind of front they were going to be in, and they were bailing out of it. So you not only have the motion tell, you then do the hard count, and you trust. Even with the new center, you've got to trust people in playoff games in big moments.
Well, that trust got them a 1st down.
Hut.
Now it's Howard. And Howard picks up 5 yards. takes us to the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute warning.
The offense has got rolling early. It's been a defensive battle since. Welcome back to the UFL playoffs presented by New Era. 2 minutes on the game clock left here in St. Louis. It is a good one, this semifinal of the UFL. The visiting Louisville Kings went out to the early lead. They're holding on by just a point. With St. Louis knocking on the door inside the 30.
All right. All right.
The winner moves on to the United Bowl to face the defending champion, DC Defenders. Jarvion Howard out of the backfield with room. First down and plenty more.
Well, now Louisville gets caught in man coverage, and you get back out of the backfield. You get nobody out of that second level to cover up Jarvion Howard. Beautiful pick on the inside. You can tell Cubits just can't follow him out, and it's an easy completion for a first down.
17 yards to the 12-yard line. It's Bostic, the tight end, in motion.
Ready to go. Hut.
Perez directing traffic, and he finds Blake Johnson, who dives for the score. And for the first time today, the Battlehawks are in front.
What Perez did such a good job on the move to his right, keeping his eyes downfield. And as Louisville flowed over the top, he was able to find Blake Jackson in the hole of the defense. That's a great series for this St. Louis offense, and they found a rhythm here in this second quarter.
And they decide to kick the extra point. Ramiz Ahmed trying to make it a 6-point lead. And he does. That'll get the crowd going.
No doubt, and Jackson does a great job here. So as Jackson comes in, watch, he's just going to sit in the hole. So Perez is on the move over to the right side. But Jackson does a great job finding the soft spot, and then he just kind of sits right there, and Perez is able to find him, and then he turns and gets himself into the end zone. There's the eyes. He's pointing. He's directing. Now he finds the open receiver, and it's Jackson for a touchdown. I tell you what, I think early in this game, Brock, Luis Perez was maybe a touch tentative, but in the last couple of series, we've seen him now take ownership of this offense here in a playoff game, and he's making some good decisions.
Well, you would certainly hope that all of the experience he has, he's won championships in the spring, that it comes to life. And you're right, he did not want to make an early mistake. That was really clear. But that offense came to life in the second quarter. And you don't have to be the greatest athlete, but when you get in the red zone, it's amazing how when you extend the play, you can distort that defense, and even guys that aren't runners make a difference.
This is Perez's 8th season of spring football. He played just about every league. You mentioned won the XFL championship in 23 and was the MVP in that championship game. And right now, trying to lead St. Louis to the championship game of the UFL. Right now, they have a 17-11 lead as we welcome you back up to the broadcast booth. And what a response this St. Louis team has had after getting punched in the mouth early on.
I tell you, Ricky Proehl's got to be excited with how his team has responded. You know, that first drive for Louisville, they go right down the field, score in the long run. And ever since then, the defense has been excellent, putting pressure on Chandler Rogers, and then the offense finally showing up and getting that rhythm with Luis Perez. And Jarvion Howard already 11 touches today. So that offense flowing through number 41, and they're able to use Akeem Butler as a bit of a disguise, getting the ball in other spots into other people's hands, and that's really paid off for them.
14 unanswered points by St. Louis. Let's see what Louisville will do to try and answer. As that one is dropped, Tariq Black, the intended receiver.
Well, this is a big series here for Louisville.
It feels like it.
Yeah, you know, Brock, they have an opportunity to get a little momentum here, but they also get the kick to start the second half.
Yeah.
So a big moment in this game right now, and this defense, I'm sure, feels it. This would be a big stop if they're able to get a stop here.
I think two things. Number one, you got to handle the pressure, and number two, this offense feels sped up. Got to find a way to slow themselves down and execute.
Remember, this offense scored 4 plays into the game on a 53-yard touchdown, and on that second series had a 60-yard field goal. Since then, nothing, as that one is incomplete to Isaiah Winstead.
Yeah, and they abandoned the run game after that success early on the first 4 plays, and we just haven't seen many rushes since then. They've only got 5 rushes so far on the day. And this is not a team that you can just drop back and throw the ball against. Their front is too good, in particular in situations like this. You've got Pita Damu-Apenu, you've got Feeney, you've got all these guys that can rush the quarterback and see if they can get home.
That's loud.
And here comes the blitz. Rogers completes it out, and with running room is Lucky Jackson, who gets the first.
What a great call, Brock. I mean, that little slip tunnel screen. You get all that pressure coming from the second level. Nobody is left in the middle of the field.
13 yards. Rogers. Quick pass. Arm hit as he throws. Jackson makes the catch and steps out of bounds.
I want to go back to that tunnel screen because, Brock, as you know, as a play caller, you got to feel all that pressure, and you know you're getting pressure. Look at the second level. They're all going to be sitting in here. They're blitzing in there. Now you're going to just get the little tunnel screen. Great blocking out front by the tight end, wide receivers. That's a really nice call.
Yeah, Steve Logan's been doing this for a while up in that booth, and you know this and I know this. Get the ball out of my hands. Defeat blitz in space. Don't let them dictate. You gotta hit them in the face into that blitz.
On second down, the blitz is picked up. That's Winstead. He's going to fall forward. They're going to spot him just a yard shy of the first.
Well, they've got to go quickly now because, remember, not getting the first down, the clock is going to run. And so they're going to get up quickly to the line of scrimmage. If I'm Chandler Rogers, I'm just going to QB sneak as quickly as I can.
He does. He's kind of nipped and tucked and eventually found his way for the first down.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Moving the chain, stopping the clock. Now you can get back there. It's going to roll again as soon as they get the chain set.
Louisville, they're first. 30 seconds.
Now they take a timeout. They had 3.
Even when they bring it out that heat, protection's been decent. So for that,
well, there's 105 left on the game clock. That's how far we are from the progressive halftime show. We'll catch you up on the highlights from the opening game of the semifinal weekend here in the UFL, where DC knocked off Orlando to move on to the United Bowl. They'll take on the winner of this game.
You know, one thing I like, Joel and Kurt, on this Louisville sidelines, and I think it's really Chris Redmond and Tony Banks, they are calm. Like, even in the storm and the chaos, you do not feel a lot of chaos and panic on the sidelines. This team really takes on, I think, the head coach's demeanor and personality, and they've responded all year.
I think that's the point, really. They've responded all year after that 0-3 start. For an expansion team, a lot of organizations would have panicked, but Louisville didn't. And they come into the playoffs riding a 4-game win streak as Tariq Black makes that catch on first down.
A really good throw there from Chandler Rogers, and they're getting a lot of heat. This is 0 blitz after 0 blitz, meaning nobody back, a lot of pressure. Now they'll finally have 2 safeties back defensively.
Rogers over the middle, it's got a man, his tight end, Trey McKitty.
What a call there, Brock. They finally get cover 2 with the 2 high safeties.
Louisville,
and they're able to hit the seam with Trey McKitty. Okay, so here's you got 2 high safeties. Where are you going to attack? Right in the seam of the defense. And they get up and over the linebackers right here. Beautiful route by the tight end. Rogers finally has time, and that's right on his face mask. That's a beautiful job. Great second level release. He gets himself into that seam, and that's an easy throw. I always felt like, Brock, in the 2-minute situation, as soon as I got 2 high safeties, I want to attack the seam of the defense.
And how big was that 3rd and 10 tunnel screen? My goodness gracious. This dome was about to blow its top. They were going to have to punt the ball. You convert that 3rd and 10, and you can see the St. Louis defense sucking wind.
And that's all Steve Logan on that call. You know, feeling the pressure, knowing you just execute as a player a little tunnel screen right there, but it's the perfect call at the perfect time.
And the 24-yard pass play, their longest pass of the night. And now St. Louis takes a timeout.
St. Louis, they're second. 30 seconds.
Let's talk about it. Come on.
What?
Are we good?
Who is?
Red.
I know that.
Well, you mentioned earlier Louisville trying to pull the double, get a score here right at the end of the first half because they get the ball back to start the second, and so St. Louis want to make sure they do everything they can to stop it.
And Brock, this is where, what do you have as a specialty play? A double move, something along those lines. Maybe misdirection, something a little creative.
Blitz coming. Pass. Caught by Hudson. It is the double move and wide open in the end zone, but underthrown. Miles Sims with the pick. Hudson trying to throw it to Tariq Black and couldn't get enough on it.
There was just enough pressure on Hudson out there on the outside. He couldn't get everything on the ball because Tariq Black was wide open. They try to get the double pass. Here's the ball to the outside, and here, just enough, and he's throwing it off his back foot. But how about the reaction from Sims? What an incredible reaction. Sims is able to, look at him. He's beat right here, and now he takes off towards the end zone and one-hands it.
There is a flag on the field after the play.
Ruling on the field is an interception that results in a touchback after the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. St. Louis, number 95. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down, St. Louis.
That's on Taylor Stallworth, but the interception still counts.
Boy, and I know Brock, they went with the creative call there, and now they've got to be just kicking themselves because they had such a good rhythm going offensively.
And they had it. I mean, that's one of those that you hold, right? You hold, and it's the exact call you want. Steve Logan up in the booth saying, touchdown. We got a touchdown. He's 10 yards behind the defense, and you just can't finish the play.
I think it was that little adjustment he made, as you know, and a wide receiver would never know this, but you take that little extra adjustment as a quarterback or you're throwing the football down the field, it's always going to be short. St. Louis will just take a knee here and go into half with a 17-11 lead. But, man, that small adjustment, ball comes up short. But what a play by Miles Sims. My goodness.
And that proves to be the difference in the first half. Instead of a touchdown and the lead, Louisville will trail. Miles Sims with the pick to shut the door right before intermission. And so 17-11. The Battlehawks will go into the locker room with the lead. Brock.
Well, Coach Prohl, talk to me about that last interception there.
Well, big play. I mean, obviously, they had him open, but they had put some pressure and he underthrew it. But it's funny, last night we put on Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns. We knew this was going to be a fight. And it's a great football team. But I love our football team and how we're playing, man. We're offense, we're putting the ball in the end zone. We just got to keep doing it one play at a time.
And the message to the guys at halftime will be what?
It's 30 minutes left of football. It's a lot of football left. We got to act like it's 0-0 and just do what we've done this first half, but build on the momentum that we've created.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks.
Hey, according to Ricky Prohl, this has been a great middleweight bout. We won't disagree. Here's tonight's big move brought to you by Pods.
Well, it was that first big play of the game. Beautiful job by that offensive line, and Louisville was off to the races. James Robinson with an early touchdown, but you got to give St. Louis a lot of credit because after this run, which was our Pod's big move of the night, Kurt, that defense, they settled down and they played terrific during the course of that first half. But boy, it was fireworks early from James Robinson.
17-11, the hometown Battlehawks with the lead. The winner moves on to play in the UFL championship game against DC. There's still another half to go. St. Louis leads this playoff game 17-11 at halftime. Louisville got their 11 points on their first two possessions, but nothing since. Brock Hewitt is with their head coach.
Well, you had the double pass there right before half, and it was there. What did you see?
Yeah, we trying to take a shot there, had an opportunity to try to play off their aggressiveness, their very aggressive defense, and he had him open, probably threw a little bit late. We wanted to really get back to the quarterbacks we wanted to. That was a wide open as well, but just a shot. You got to take a chance every once in a while, and they made an incredible play, stopping them. This is a great team. They're playing at a high level right now. Luckily, we get the ball back in the second half.
What was the message to handle all that pressure they've been bringing defensively?
Scott, everybody's got to do their job, and make the plays when they're there. There's a lot of things there. We're missing a couple reads and a couple little things that we had to correct at the halftime. But the guys are going to be all right. We're going to come back in the second half. Hopefully, get this first drive as a big drive for us.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
Well, they've handled adversity well all season long. Started the year 0-3, switched quarterbacks after week 4 and won 6 of their last 7. And playing as well as anyone as they come into the postseason on a 4-game win streak. But right now, they've got to come back from a halftime deficit if they want to make it to the championship game. And Ian Wheeler taking a big hit from Michael Barrett on the second half opening kickoff.
He took off right down the middle of the field, but watch Barrett come in here. Lays the hammer down on Ian Wheeler. And Ian Wheeler and James Robinson, I think they need to be a more of a focal point of this offense during the course of this second half. After that long run, as Ricky Prohl loves the hit, but after that long run to score the touchdown from James Robinson, only 2 carries from the back since. Where's the commitment to the run game? They need to get back to that.
Well, they start off that way. Robinson caught in the backfield, though. Feeney forced him to turn around and then got back in the play to make the tackle.
Great job by Travis Feeney. He's just an effort player on the edge. And what you need, this is just a teaching tape right here, Brock, on the edge. So you got Feeney, and you've got to be a hard edge. You can't let anything outside of you. He doesn't let him outside of you, and now it's about effort. So that's the rest of the defense. They're coming in, and then Feeney comes in there and cleans it up.
Drops Robinson for a loss of 2. Rogers, quick pass, outside intended for Isaiah Winstead, incomplete.
And the rhythm's just not there right now, Brock, for this offense in the passing game.
So what are you doing here, 3rd and 12? I guess A, defensively, Joel, do you set that commitment right away with pressure? And then B, offensively, how do you find a way to convert?
Well, I think that they found their unlock there against the pressure. So I don't know if I would pressure if I was St. Louis. I would sit back and allow my pass rushers to try to get after it here. Maybe a stunt, maybe Luke one of them around, but certainly don't allow them to just run one of those tunnel screens for a first down.
Here's Rogers. Taking off. He's going to slide. No flags on the play. Jordan Mosley with the tackle. It'll be a 3 and out to start the second half for Louisville.
Well, and they stunted right as I was talking about that. They bring Travis Feeney, and he goes to the inside, and he just gets a little bit of pressure in the interior of that offensive line, and that's what forced Chandler Rogers to have to take off to the outside, and there was nowhere to go because they were in zone coverage behind it.
So Matt Brown on to punt it away. Sean Fresh back deep. Led the league in punt returns, gets a block. And he wrapped up right about the 27-yard line by Steele Chambers. 50 yards on the punt, 10 on the return. We'll see what Ricky Prohl's Battlehawks will do. The first time they touch the ball here in the second half of this semifinal playoff game. That was tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Well, the St. Louis offense has been in the flow of late. 14 straight points after being down 11-3 early on. They touch it for the first time here in the second half, starting at their own 25.
Go. We're ready to go. Hut.
And the handoff taken by Latulis. 3 yards on the pickup.
Well, Brock, you think about the way this offense adjusted early in this game. Clearly they want to get the ball to Butler, but the defense has been really good against Butler, and so other guys have stepped up. And now all of a sudden the primary guys are Canellis on the outside, McBride on the outside, Jarvion Howard. Those guys have stepped up and had a big day.
First pass of the second half, and that's out to Butler. So they get him involved early here in this third quarter to try and see if they can't get the league's leading receiver going. This time he picks up 16.
You know, when he's singled up like this, it's man coverage, and this is just a really tall task. Cam Dantzler out there, he's been in man coverage for most of the day against Butler. He's generally had some help. And Cam Gill, their great pass rusher with 10 sacks on the year, just cannot quite get home. I tell you, Richard Garage has done a great job over there at left tackle. You know, he's one of those unsung MVPs so far of the day in these last few series for St. Louis, keeping that pressure off of Perez.
With a reconfigured offensive line here after losing their center early on as Latulis is brought down. Josiah Bryson with the tackle after a 4-yard gain.
I've been so impressed, Brock, with this offensive line without Mike Panashuk. You reported injured in pregame warm-ups, and Sincere Hainsworth has jumped in there and done a really nice job at center.
Yeah, in this inside zone, they have been sticky with it, and it's really set up some of that RPO. Right? It may not look like a ton on the stat sheet, but an early down run of 3-4 yards just sets the table for the rest of that RPO game down the road.
And sets up a 2nd and 6. Perez broken up. Corey Mayfield, nice job of swatting that down, intended for McBride.
Hey, we got to watch where we are out on the field. All right, here we go. Give me white. Okay, 53. H-Coin, 52, H-Coin Z-Bo. 52. H-Coin Z-Bo, gotta go, 10 seconds, go. 52, gotta go.
Oh, hold on, hey, are you? No.
They got some confusion, yes. You could see they were not close to being ready.
Well, it's just such a late play call.
St. Louis, they're first. 30 seconds.
53, then you said H-Coin.
That said H-Coin Z-Bo. H-Coin Z-Bo.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you meant that because you said 53, but you said what? You said H-Coin.
All right.
But that's on that side, and Sal's over there, so I didn't know what you know what I mean?
I got you. But get the line out, though. We can fix that.
I didn't know which side the coin was going to be, though. You know what I mean? It's a crucial down.
Okay, this is
and
where
if I
go
go 0, be ready for 0.
You want to go silver then?
No, the same play. But call it. Go.
You know what D?
Coin.
I was going to go D's over here. Y stick. If you want to go H-Coin, call it.
Yeah, H-Coin. Call it on the headset. We'll go H-Coin 53. H-Coin, X-Bow.
X-Bow, 53. Y-Coin. It's Y-Coin. 53. X-Bow, Y-Coin.
Hey, 53. On one, ready?
Sometimes it pays to have experience at QB.
That's right.
You know what I'd pay for? I'd pay to hear that NFL play call.
Oh, I would too.
Outback. Go.
How many times that happens in the big boy league too?
Yep. Ready to go.
Like Perez said, this is an important 3rd down. Needing 6, they get it. Sal Cannella, his 3rd catch of the game. Making his 4th. There's a flag down on the play.
Yeah, it's going to be on Cannella. He spun the ball right at the feet of the defender after the catch. So this one's going to be a 1st down. Then it's going to be a dead ball, personal foul, and they're going to back him up.
Conduct, St. Louis, number 80, his first of the game. 15 yards, but it's going to be 1st and 10, correct?
Yeah.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 80, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty. St. Louis ball, 1st and 10.
All right, so it's a 9-yard pickup, a 15-yard penalty. They lose 6 yards, but they get the 1st down.
That's right. So it's 1st and 10, but because of this right there, can't spin it right at the feet of the defender. And he should know better than that. Sal Cannella is more experienced than that. So, yes, that'll back him up overall. And they went to the tight end. Yeah, we're trying to get the tight end. You know, that all that confusion, Brock, on the previous play call. It was for Cannella. Perez correctly called the timeout because the protection was wrong, the side of the formation was wrong and incorrect. And so they got it corrected in the timeout, got the completion that they wanted, and then just kind of a bonehead play there from Cannella.
Yeah, and I think a great point by you, Kurt. I mean, that is experience. That's what 8 years in the spring of playing in all these games and big games kind of gives you from that QB position with Luis.
So they're backed up, but they do have the 1st from the 43.
Hut.
Jarvion Howard hit in the backfield. Nowhere to go, courtesy of Steel Chamber.
Okay, stay in blue. Okay, zoom to ace right, Y on, Broncos stare, Z glide. Zoom to ace right, Y on, Broncos stare, Z glide.
Hey, Broncos stare, on one, ready? Broncos stare. Go now. Hey, look for my signal. Ready to go. Hut.
The handoff to Howard. And he gets bottled up. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Let me know if it goes 0 or 1 now. Just don't show it. Bliss auto, single, alert smoke. Bliss auto, single, alert smoke.
No, trips right up.
So
trips right
Brock,
up.
they're
No,
gonna
trips right up.
Yep.
try to.
They're coming.
They're coming here.
860, y'all ready?
And trying to disguise it, right?
Let's go.
And keep in mind before the penalty.
Guys, remember, they crossed the 50 before the penalty. I think you were about to say they cannot punt on this series.
And so it almost picked off. The averted disaster. Cameron Dantzler had it right in his bucket.
Oh, Brock, he was going to run right past you. You're sitting over there on the 30, and Dantzler reads it perfect. Great burst on that ball, and he just can't secure it. He's gone. He is absolutely gone. He hits his head on the pylon.
They are coming out to punt.
They're coming out to punt, but they're not allowed to.
I don't believe that they should be allowed to. That series crossed the 50, and then a penalty moved them back beyond the 50.
But the officials are letting it go. You're going to have to get an explanation from Dean Blandino on this one.
I get the only explanation would be that it was a first down.
Dean, can you explain that?
Yeah, so remember, the ball did cross the 50, but it wasn't made ready for play yet. The penalty against Canella moved it back. Ball was not made ready for play, so technically they didn't cross the 50.
Dean, technicalities.
Sounds like Dean's got his voice back. That's what it sounds like.
What are we doing? Well, the St. Louis defense have been so active up front. There's a reason they're the best defense in the league. Check out what they're able to do off the edge. There's Dambo Apenu. He's in the backfield. Now check out all this stunting. You get the looping. Everybody up near the line of scrimmage. Very difficult to identify for the offensive line. More pressure here. Again, the stunts, which means you're looping a defensive end inside, a tackle outside. The linebackers have been free. Corners with eyes in the backfield. They've done a great job tackling in space. And ever since that first series where James Robinson took off for that really long run for a touchdown, this St. Louis defense has given up nearly nothing tonight.
They gave up 74 yards and a touchdown on the opening drive, a total of 86 cents. They'll get added to on this play is Ian Wheeler takes it all the way out across the 30. Nice 20-yard pickup.
Well, and they get back to the run game finally, and they do it, Brock, with two tight ends on the field. I think that's the key, is the personnel grouping. They need those big bodies on the field to run it better.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Watch an injury here. Now Louisville loses an offensive lineman, 75, Thomas, off the field. But they've got to find some way to slow this defense down, whether through personnel or at some point, right, Joel, you also got to take a shot down the field and hit that blitz in the face.
They really haven't taken a shot downfield all day. Lowering his head is Robinson. Pardon me, Wheeler on the carry.
Give me base. Overhead takes 1 Q.
Aggressive here.
Overhead takes 1 Q.
He's been playing a ton of man coverage and zero-man, Brock. No safeties back, and that's what you're talking about, is at some point you've got to take the one-on-one matchup on the outside and try to hit it over the top.
And here come those two tight ends, so maybe an opportunity to have a 7-man protection to do just that.
They hand it off again. Wheeler. It'll bring up third down.
You can tell what the emphasis was on the sideline before this series.
Abe Hippo. Abe Hippo, Tallahassee. Abe Hippo.
It was all about the run game. Remember, in the 4-game win streak they had coming in, they've been running the football over 30 times per game for 170 yards, this Louisville team. They're trying to get back to that, but I don't think you can do that here. Brock, not on 3rd and 4. This is going to be a Rodgers down right here. Someone's got to make a play on the outside.
And this crowd is electric.
Defense showing blitz. They come. Rodgers gets it out. Isaiah Winstead move after the catch. And there he goes down the sideline. Will they catch him? Tripped up just inside the 15 by Taylor Hawkins, who saves the touchdown. But a big play of 54 yards.
And great recognition, first by Isaiah Winstead to cut off his route. It's kind of a sight adjust, meaning that he's going to cut his route off, and then the quick read by Rodgers. He sees the blitz coming, ball out right away, and that allows Winstead to run after the catch. Beautiful move back to the inside, and then you see some of that speed down the sideline.
First down. Wheeler is plowed right into the pile.
Boy, you just get the sense of how important this series is right here. Not settling for a field goal with how well this defense has been playing the few times now that Louisville has been down here in scoring range. They had the long touchdown. They got inside the 20. They tried to throw that double pass. It was intercepted. This has really been their best chance, longest drive deep into St. Louis territory all night.
I'd like to see Chandler use his legs here, too.
And they bring in big teams Robinson for protection. Towards the end zone. Winstead! Caught. Touchdown, Louisville.
This is A++ ball placement right here from Chandler Rogers. Here's the route. Isaiah Winstead, after that big third down conversion, he wins on the outside, and that ball is driven on the back of his helmet, and he just falls out of it. It's a back shoulder, but from the slot. And Winstead goes up and gets it, secures that ball for a touchdown. That was a huge series for this Louisville offense. A lot of confidence over there. Chandler Rogers, the big third down conversion to Winstead, and then capping it off with that touchdown.
Winstead, their leading receiver during the regular season, gives them a chance to go back on top. Tanner Brown puts it through, and it's now an 18-17 lead. Louisville with their first touchdown since the opening drive of the game. Winstead, such a big part of it. He had the big 54-yard reception and then the score to put him on top.
That's why you're a leader. That's why you're a leader. Good job, baby. Good job. Good job. Attaboy. Great job. Great job.
St. Louis at home, but they have trailed all game long.
You look at what they did in the first 40 minutes of this game, nothing. St. Louis made it to the XFL Conference Championship a year ago in this building. To come out and play this way today has got to be disheartening.
Everybody can accept blame for this one.
They could get nothing right all day long.
Well, the postseason has been a tough place to be for St. Louis. This is Ricky Proehl's first year as the head coach, with the Battlehawks' third consecutive season into the playoffs, and they are still looking for their first postseason victory. And they've been at home both of the previous 2 years. And that's a point that Proehl said it was a different head coach, different coaching staff, not pointing blame, but just saying a different regime. But he reminded his team of their failures in the postseason as they got ready to take on Louisville here. And Joel Klatt, it's one of those things you wonder, some of the players that have been here for a while, do you start thinking, oh boy, here we're going again.
Here we go again. Well, you know, certainly with the way that they've played defensively, when you give up a couple of big plays like that, we saw the big play for the touchdown in the opening series from Louisville, and then they're on that third down, you feel like you have them, and they get the big conversion to Winstead and then punch it in the end zone. That's the hard part on the St. Louis sideline right now, is they feel like they've dominated the game, and they look up and they're down a point, and that's when that mentality can start to creep in a little bit, and we'll see how they answer offensively on this series.
Well, there's still 5 minutes to go here in this third quarter, and they play fairly well offensively, and this will add to it as Jarvion Howard gets the carry on first down. Brock, you've been around this team.
Yeah, I don't feel that on the sidelines. I really do feel what Ricky said to us before the game, and that is this is a different group. And in fact, if you watch the earlier playoff game, Anthony Becht, who was the head coach that lost both of those, said, hey, I'm in a new environment. I don't carry any of that over with me. But obviously they fell short. He fell short for the third time.
Yeah, Orlando lost the opening semifinal contest to DC, who moves on to the United Bowl. They will play the winner of this contest on Saturday for the championship. Jarvion Howard stutter steps. Takes advantage of the move. Nice gain there on first down by the leading rusher of the league, 13 yards.
And they're finally starting to gain some yards with this run game. They haven't had a ton of success, only 2.5 per carry. And before this last run by Howard, their longest run of the night was 6 yards. So that one, their longest run of the night by a wide margin here, and gets them across the 50-yard line.
And you know what's coming off of that run.
Oh, yeah. They're going RPO. You're going to have an opportunity in particular with Butler in the slot, which is exactly where he's at.
Well, they hand it off instead. Howard, he's got running room. Right up the middle, still going. Second, third, fourth effort as he spun free, broke tackles, and picked up 20.
And Brock, I talked earlier in the game about how physical he runs through arm tackles, and you're starting to see that as Louisville's defense has fatigued a bit. He is starting to really pick up steam.
Yeah, just getting stronger as the game goes on, and if they're going to keep those two safeties back to protect against the big play, you should see effective run like this.
No doubt. If you get these safeties back like this, you've got to keep running the football.
Kylan James giving him a breather. James spins his way out to the 20, flag down on the play as well.
Who's that on? Who's that on?
Negative. It's a personal foul, face mask.
Oh, you face mask?
What team? 15 from the previous spot. Offense. 15 from the previous spot. Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 75. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's going to be on Javian Cohen, backing him up.
Cohen had to be inserted into that lineup, guys, because of the Panashuk injury. So Hainsworth had to move inside. There's 75, kind of top of your screen. You can see his hands go upstairs a little bit early. And then you can see right there on the right side, there's the helmet grab. And a good call by the officials, and they're backed way up.
Backs him all the way up to the 39.
Hut.
Latulis out of the backfield. Nowhere to go. Good open field tackle made by Cam Dantzler.
And Brock, this is when, if I was a play caller, I would get in my quarterback's headset and say, hey, don't take a chance here, because you can get in that mode as a QB where you've got to force it, but remember, this is a secondary with 13 picks on the year.
Yeah, and again, that's where Luis, with all of his experience, has got to understand that decision-making, and I think he does. Been better today protecting the football, and he's got to be at his best in the final 17 minutes.
You're really playing these next two snaps for a field goal.
Hut.
Pressure. Howard. And Howard picks up 4 yards. Third down call.
What a play by Kubitz. Brock, he was being
Silver.
That was incredible.
Silver. Trips right up. We got to get in the field goal range. 860 D's, H corner. 860 D's, H corner.
He cannot take a sack.
It would be about a 55-yard attempt right now, which is 9 yards longer than their kicker Ahmed has made all season long. So they need to pick up some yards. Empty backfield. They do. Bostic. And he won't get enough for the first down, but it makes the field goal attempt a little bit more manageable.
Well, I know that's frustrating offensively, but Brock, that's exactly what they needed to do, right? I mean, the chances of converting a first down there are so low. So what you've got to do is play for the 3. They've done that. Now you need to execute the kick.
But that is back-to-back drives where you saw 2 15-yard penalties really decimate the drive.
That's right. Canella on the last series, and then there that face mask by Cohen.
And so it'll set up a 45-yard attempt from Ahmed.
Come on, money means.
As we said earlier, his long for the season has been 46.
Come on, baby. Yes. Let's go.
No problem with that one. Plenty of distance. And so in a back-and-forth contest, suddenly, it's the Battlehawks who are back on top.
Best blocking set. Wide receivers in the league, bro. Yep. That's all hard right there. Great job.
That's love for your teammates.
That's right. Hey, let's go. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's finish this game. Let's finish this game. Let's go. Let's finish this game. All right, let's go. Ready? Let's go. Hey, they don't score, we win. Let's go.
A battle of first-year head coaches who've gotten their teams 1 game away from a championship contest. The winner of this semifinal matchup will meet DC in DC on Saturday in the United Bowl for the UFL championship. And right now, it's been a good one. 20-18, St. Louis on top. And Louisville getting a chance to try and answer.
Oh, he dropped it. Did you see that bounce? Oh my
Tyler Hudson.
goodness. Did you see that?
Fortuitous, I think, is the word.
Holy cow. As he was hurdling, this ball came out. Right there. Look at this. Ball is on the ground. It hops right into his hands, and he's able to take it out of bounds. That is an incredible bounce for the Kings.
Good fortune on that play. Will it lead to some more here on this drive? Robinson hit in the backfield and wrapped up eventually. It took a couple of guys, but eventually Steve Linton and Ojamadia wrapped him up.
Well, I'll tell you, that front seven, man, they are playing some football. They are flying around. You got edge players on each side doing a great job. There was Feeney in the backfield. You got corners coming up playing physical. They're pursuing the football well, and they continue to put pressure on this Louisville offense, who's constantly behind the chains. In the last series, we saw them convert that big third down, and right now on 2nd and long, the main piece for this offense would be try to get yourself in a more manageable third down situation.
They hand it off. James Robinson tries again, pushes the power forward, this time on what appears to be the final play of the third quarter. We're 1 quarter away from finding out who moves on to play in the championship game of the UFL. It's 20-18 with 15 left. Welcome back to the 4th quarter of this UFL playoff matchup presented by New Era. The Battlehawk crowd making noise, trying to encourage their defense here on 3rd down. As they try to hold on to this lead, Chandler Rogers steps up, and it goes right through the fingertips of Lucky Jackson.
Well, they're trying to get the crossing route thrown here, and Lucky Jackson just gets a fastball. He's got a little bit of space, but they end up coming across the middle. If he catches that, he's going to have a chance to turn up and at least make a dive for that 1st down marker. But as a quarterback, you got to put that out in front with just a little bit of touch and not give him the fastball on the back shoulder.
Sean Fresh back deep. Survey. And a good return on the play. There's a flag down right about the 15-yard line.
All right, so number 9, and we're going half the distance from the spot of the foul. So full 10 if we're going from the 20 to the 10. Number 9. During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 9. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Trey Dean called for the illegal block. Until the back Luis Perez and this offense up. And right now, they've got this lead. Obviously, you want to add to it. But you start to think about, when does the clock become a factor, or is it too early here at the start of the 4th quarter?
I think it's probably too early, but on that last series, what we did see is that this St. Louis offensive line was starting to lean on this Louisville defensive line, and they were able to run the football well. Now, backed up inside of your own 20, you're trying to get yourself a 1st down, maybe 2, and reestablish field position.
Hard. Block him.
They blocked some of them. Perez has a man on the sideline and can't connect with Stephen McBride, who was all alone.
This is such a good route by Stephen McBride, and he's got him. He's absolutely got him. You're going to see a little bit of pressure in the pocket, and Perez kind of jumps at this throw and never gets his feet set underneath him. And Brock, that's why it took off.
Yep. Yeah, you could almost hear him. I mean, the mic said it, block him, and you could hear that speed him up. And yes, that forward momentum, unfortunately, that was 6, Joe, if he hits him in stride.
An easy 6.
Viper! Ready to go!
They hand it off. James fighting back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
I'll tell you, LaRon Stokes has been pretty good in there, in the interior defensive lineman for this Louisville team. And what a big down this is for Louisville right here. An opportunity to get off the field, but not only that, guys, but reestablish field position. You know, if they can force them into a minimal gain here, they're going to get the ball right around the 50-yard line, maybe the -45. So a real opportunity for this defense to set up their offense with a shorter field.
Ready to go. Hard.
Blitz coming on 3rd down. Perez mistimes it once again with Bostic, and it will be a 3-and-out for the Battlehawks.
Brock, I think he had Bostic as well. I know that there was some pretty good coverage, but watch this outside throw. He just leads him too far to the outside. Bostic, the tight end, is in the slot, and if this is thrown right at the back of his helmet, that's going to be a catch and a first down, but just too much air on the outside.
Yeah, and you got to know if you're throwing to a tight end, they're not going to adjust to that back shoulder the way a receiver will.
Perez has been off a couple of times tonight to open receivers. Here's Lucky Jackson. Louisville going to have excellent field position starting on St. Louis's side of the field, but there is a penalty marker, so let's see how this plays out.
So during the return, holding receiving team number 10, 10-yard penalty from the spot, and we're going to timeout. During the return, holding receiving team number 10, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, timeout on the field.
Caden Prather called for that. Both teams have struggled a little bit on special teams. Luis Perez not happy after that last possession, which ended in a 3-and-out, but there's still plenty of time.
Crunch time here in the playoffs for Chandler Rogers, and he had a bit of a slow start throwing the football. A lot of pressure from this St. Louis defense, but they've gotten the ball out of his hand quickly here in the last quarter or so. And that has led to some big plays. This one on a third down to Winstead, got all the way down inside of the 20-yard line, and then a beautiful back shoulder to Winstead for the touchdown. And Rogers now is sitting here down to 7 of 9 for 115 yards since that shaky start when he was 5 of 10. We'll see if that hot streak can continue here on this series.
Was that tarps off here? Spreading to the UFL. There's Ian Wheeler. Big run up the middle. Picks up 11 and a first.
Well, that run game is going to be important because, Brock, you know, you've said this during the break to me a couple of times. At some point in this fourth quarter, Chandler Rogers is going to have an opportunity to keep it on the edge.
Yeah, you just see it all the time, right? From real good running quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, probably the best in the league. He just holds and waits until that moment is big enough in the fourth quarter. We're getting pretty close to that time.
Hand it off instead. Around the corner is Wheeler down the sideline, wheeling into the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville. Their third play over 50 yards tonight. That one, 51.
I mean, this is a great run. There's no doubt. And the offensive line does a great job, but Tariq Black, the wide receiver, makes the entire play. Watch this block he's going to throw on the safety. This makes the play right there. Bang! He cracks back, corners out of position. Now it's just a foot race on the outside, a one-on-one. He beats him to the outside, and a huge play down the sideline. What a block from Tariq Black, the wide receiver. Opens it up for the touchdown.
Record him. He's fast. There's a challenge flag being thrown by St. Louis. Remember, with the Super Challenge, you challenge anything.
17.
They're trying to challenge that block that I just showed right there as a crackback. I think that the hard part here is that Mosley, the safety, he's in front of him and coming down.
Well, it's 17. Yeah.
Boy, this is going to be a hard call for D. This is what they're challenging right here.
St. Louis is challenging the ruling on the field that there was no foul for an illegal block in the back. The previous play is under further review.
All right, so I'm with you, Adam, here. He's challenging that's a block in the back. That comes in, and he's going to make contact from the side. Do we have any other angles here? He's coming across, and I've got shoulder to the shoulder here. I can't get anything from behind. Here's the TV shot. Again, the contact is from the side. I can see the numbers the whole time. There's the shot again. That's from the side. It's not a block in the back. So those are our best looks. After further review, the ruling on the field of no block in the back stands, Adam. Got it. Yep.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. St. Louis is charged with its second timeout and has no challenges remaining for the rest of the game.
Blacks block was still the key.
I tell you, man, that is a great job. As a wide receiver, you got to do dirty work sometimes. You know, that's a selfless play. And he gets in there, gets the block, springs Ian Wheeler, who did the rest, down the sideline. And that's a huge fail of a super challenge, because now St. Louis only has one timeout.
And no more challenges. In a game that you have to win to move on in the playoffs. Well, Louisville scored on a 53-yard touchdown run by James Robinson on the opening drive, a 51-yarder by Wheeler following that big block by Black, and they're back in front.
Go!
Well, it's been big plays from Louisville. This was the opening drive of the game, and they were able to get a huge run, 50-plus yards right here from James Robinson. He put it in the end zone, and then it was a huge, crucial 3rd and 6, and Isaiah Winstead is able to get loose. He makes a St. Louis defender miss, and he's down the sideline. And then on that last series, how about Ian Wheeler? Beautiful block from Tariq Black, and there he is down the sideline. Nobody catches him. He's into the end zone, and it's those 3 plays of 50-plus yards that are really the difference. And you look at St. Louis, and they've left some of those on the table, even in their last offensive series, Kurt. You know, Perez had a chance to McBride down the sideline. They missed the chance for the big play. That's the difference so far.
In fact, their biggest play of the night, 20 yards. But they're still within a score. Get inside 12 minutes of the semifinal game. And so Luis Perez will get another shot at it.
Well, you come out here offensively, and Perez has been careful with the football. He's 20 of 32. Yeah, there have been a couple of misses. But Brock, at this point, as a play caller and a quarterback, don't you go back to what's worked? Sal Cannella, McBride, Howard out of the backfield. That's really what's been working for this crew.
Yeah, and I think some of that inside zone that should lead to a shot. I would also add 15-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty, and a 30-yard penalty on a block in the back. Those were critical errors as well.
Took them out of scoring position each time as James spins his way out across the 40-yard line.
There's that inside zone that Brock was talking about. Nondescript play, but it goes for 5. And now all of a sudden you've got 2nd and medium. And Louisville has to make a decision. Do they play with one safety back and try to defend against the run, or do they continue to play with 2 safeties back and try to make sure that they've got someone over the top of Akeem Butler, number 88?
Who has just 2 catches for 18 yards after leading the league in the regular season. Kylan James bounces it outside, gets the first. Into Louisville territory.
There it is, good. Give me 590 X snag, or excuse me, 590 DZ snag. 590 DZ snag. FIB into the boundary snag.
Yeah, swing. We're ready to go.
First down from the 46. Perez, nowhere to go. Wrapped up and brought down. Travis Bell with the sack.
Just nowhere to go. And this is where it pays to have those deep safeties, linebackers with eyes in the backfield, just playing some zone. They come down, they roll out of it. Perez can't find a wide receiver. No outlet on the outside. Great job by that defensive secondary. And ultimately, Travis Bell is able to get home. How about Bell? 310 pounds. Just all effort on that last play.
Second sack by this Louisville defense. Backs him up 6 yards.
Ready to go.
And back into St. Louis territory beyond the 50. Here comes the pressure again. Perez steps up. He's got a man along the sideline. McBride tiptoes. And he makes the catch. His 5th of the game, and that's about as big as any.
Yeah, and that's a really nice throw from Perez because he's got to get it over Corey Mayfield. Mayfield is over there into the flat, and great feet from McBride. Only needs 1 foot down here in the UFL. There's that left foot down, secures it, gets the right one down for good measure. Beautiful play there for a first down.
17-yard gain to the 35. Perez. They faked the handoff and wound up throwing it to Cannella. And after running the football so efficiently here in the second half, they take advantage of using it as a decoy.
Yeah, and there's that decoy that Brock was talking about, and they get Canella, and they're going to get a super challenge here because Louisville felt like they were held on the edge. There was a rusher, forgive me, I didn't get his number as he was getting close to Perez.
Okay, what do we got here potentially? Let's listen. A hold by 76. Let's see.
Louisville has challenged the ruling on the field of no holding. The previous play is under further review.
He hooks him. All right, so they're challenging holding by the left tackle. I'm looking at 76. We do have a rip. He is beat, and now does he grab him and pull him? Or I see the defender's feet continue forward. I'm on Skycam.
Was it holding or not? What do you think, Davion?
So here's what broadcast is showing. Yeah. Again, I'm looking for a clear material restriction.
Not enough, right?
This is a good look. I mean, there's a little bit of a grab here.
Right at the point of attack, absolutely pulls it.
Right as the ball, I mean, Perez still has the ball, and now this is where I have a problem right there. When he yanks him back right there. Yeah, so we do have a hold on 76. We have a hold on 76, Adam, so I'm going to give you the information.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you.
That's the left tackle, Richard Garage.
Hey, fellas.
Left tackle, yep. So we were at the 35. It was 1st and 10, right hash. We'll force it from there. Correct.
After further review, holding offense number 76, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So instead of having the ball at the 14-yard line, they're backed up to the 45. That's a 31-yard penalty.
And Brock, you brought up correctly, they had those 3 penalties previous in this second half. Now a 4th one. That is a huge penalty, and the correct call from Dean in the command center.
Well, and especially in these playoff games, right? I mean, they're big in the regular season, but these are the plays that define these sudden death games. And I'll say this too, that is a tremendous challenge from Chris Redmond in that sidelines at Louisville.
And because he won it, he still has the timeouts and a challenge should he need it down the stretch in this close ball game.
Ready to go. Hard.
Here's Perez. Jackson. Nowhere to go after catching the ball. Going to lose 2 yards on the play.
Well, now you got to start thinking about trying to get yourself in field goal range. You know, we already saw one of these series previously in the second half where they get way behind the sticks, and the chances and percentages of you converting this first down, getting all the way to the 25-yard line, they're pretty low on the next 2 snaps. But you can certainly get yourself in a position to kick a field goal and make this a game in which on another possession you can kick a field goal for a win.
Hard.
Movement there on the right side.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Man, Brock, these self-inflicted wounds, these penalties are just killing St. Louis.
Really hard in playoff football to overcome these kind of penalties.
That's right. And so if you're Louisville on defense here, you have to have someone over the top of Akeem Butler, because their only chance to get this yardage back is 88. And you've got a safety over the top. That's Rashad Williams, 25. Dantzler, number 3, is on Butler, and they'll play 2-on-1 here.
Hard.
On 2nd and 27. Howard out of the backfield. 2 yards, maybe. 3rd down.
Good tackle in the open field by Eric Garrar.
Blue.
They're way behind the sticks. And again, you're thinking about field goal range right now.
91 markers, X and Z comeback, F fast check. 91 markers, X and Z comeback, F fast check.
They do have to go for this. You know, so they cannot punt on this series. So again, you're trying to think about field goal range on Med. You probably need to get to about the 40-yard line. You need 11 yards here.
At least. Perez steps up. Incomplete. Canelo, the intended receiver. No flag on the play as Jaheim Thomas was all over it.
Well, and more importantly, there's no ability to super challenge this. You know, so even if they wanted to, because they already threw that super challenge previous on the Tariq Black block, and now Canelo is working on Jaheim Thomas. Is there a tug? Yeah, probably, but no flag on the play and no ability of St. Louis to actually throw that challenge flag out there, and it lands incomplete.
And an injured player for Louisville. This is Cam Gill. Led the league in sacks with 10 in 10 games. One of the 4 finalists for league MVP. Hopefully that's nothing more than just a couple of cramps. Well, it was good to see during the break Cam Gill walk over to the sideline trying to get a little hydration. Said it was nothing but cramps. So he's out here on this 4th down play, a big one for this Battlehawk team as they are down by a score in the semifinal matchup to go on to the United Bowl against the defending champion DC Defenders on Saturday. 4th and a mile.
Ready to go. Get out. Hunt.
Perez batted down as he tried to just dump it off. They wanted to get it out to Howard and hope he could run after the catch, but LaRon Stokes said no way.
Well, those penalties come back to bite them there. They got backed way up after the beautiful ball to Canella. It would have set them up 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They go backwards and now give the ball up without getting any points on that series. Just devastating penalties for this St. Louis team during the course of this second half. And now Louisville with a chance up 5, 6:50 left here in a playoff game, and the ball on their side of the 50. What a chance here offensively to go put up a huge score.
St. Louis working with 1 timeout defensively. Well, that will certainly help before they can even get going. James Robinson was wrapped up by Taylor Stallworth.
Great effort by Stallworth. He's just going to get right into the interior here, and there's nowhere to go. Clear miscommunication up front by that offensive line. And now Louisville's behind the chains.
Loss of 4.
You get the sense, at least we've seen all day long, when they're backed up, their backs are against the wall. Corey Chamblin, the defensive coordinator for St. Louis, he gets aggressive, and he starts to send pressure.
They bring it. Rogers wisely gets rid of it. Was there someone in the area? Taylor Hawkins coming with the pressure. No flag on the play.
It looked like they were trying to maybe set up James Robinson for a bit of a screen right there. He's trying to get out, but he got knocked down to the turf in the middle of the line of scrimmage. So Robinson is trying to sneak through. Watch as he's trying to get right through right here. And they do a great job on the interior as Nomura knocks him down, and there's nowhere to go with the ball.
It's 3rd and 14. They did cross the 50, so they'll have to go for it on 4th regardless. Rogers keeps it. Lucky Jackson gets the 1st down. There won't be a 4th unless there's a penalty flag down. If this penalty goes against the offense.
Yeah, it's going to, because they had linemen downfield.
An eligible player downfield, offense number 71. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And Travis Feeney, the
correction,
linebacker
the
for
foul
St.
was
Louis,
committed
is
by
still
number
down.
75. Timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
So you're going to see on this RPO, you're going to get linemen start to get downfield. There's 75 right there. That's Jalen Thomas. And that's an easy call for the official. He's caught in no man's land. You try to run those run-pass options, and the offensive line is trying to get up to the 2nd level. They think that it could potentially be a run play, and the longer that the quarterback holds it, the more chances he's going to be down the field. And good to see Travis Feeney up. He's played a whale of a game at his defensive end spot, and he was shaken up on that last play.
That may have been one of those plays where you get injured by your own man. Looks like another member of the Battlehawks fell in the back of his leg. So he limps over to the sideline. And they'll be without a key defensive player on this big 3rd down.
Sounds it or no? They tackle him.
Route into it. Rogers gonna keep it. picks up some of that yardage. It's going to wind up being 4th down with about 6 yards to go.
Boy, that's a great scramble. Brock, you called it earlier that at one point he's going to take it. Now, that wasn't a run play where he can keep it on the edge, but legs a factor there and sets him up with a much more manageable 4th down. Brock, is this Tanner Brown's range?
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It would be a 63-yard attempt. He's made 2 from 60, including 1 tonight.
I would try to double count here.
Yeah, no doubt. Go on a hard count, and they're going to take a timeout.
Timeout. Louisville, they're first. 30 seconds.
Would you simply discuss doing it, or would you do it? Kick the field goal.
Listen, Brock, you and I were down there on the field pregame. He absolutely has the range from this distance.
Hey, coach, you going? Kick it. What goes into that decision?
My kicker looking at me and said I can make it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. What
access, man.
Yeah, Brock, way to jump in there. And that was coach saying he's going to kick it. Good timeout right there. This is well within his range. He's already made 1 4-point field goal here tonight. This is going to be a second attempt at it.
We had a corner route and they tackled. I wondered if it challenged. See if I can still challenge.
If you're St. Louis, you better put somebody back.
Now, even if he makes it, it remains a 1-score game because you can get 9 points with a 3-point conversion. But first things first, the 63-yard attempt for Tanner Brown, which will be his longest of the season and worth 4 points. It's up and it is good. For the second time tonight, Tanner Brown puts it in for 4 points, and it's a 9-point Louisville lead.
A bit of a subdued celebration up front because they've got an offensive lineman down. James Tunstall, the starting left guard, was shaken up there. He is now up and limping off the field, but how about the kick from Tanner Brown? Brock, he was money in pregame from this distance, and that is such a clutch kick. Ice water in his veins.
I love that a kicker looked at the head coach and said, I got it. Like, that's a Jimmy Chitwood move right there.
There's no doubt. Oh, my goodness. He made it by a yard. 63. Wow.
Just enough.
And you kept bringing up this word all day today, Brock, trust. And that is trust. And how about Ricky Prohl on the other side? All he can say is, wow. What a weapon Tanner Brown is.
And plenty of celebration going on as Louisville creeps closer to moving on to the championship contest. 4.5 minutes left. They are up by 9.
Kurt, you made a great point, though. You know, even with the 4-point field goal, it is still a 9-point game. You've got the opportunity to go for 3 if you're able to get it in the end zone. So this is a 1-possession game here. And 4:35 left. You go into a playoff game. If you're Ricky Prohl, if you're Luis Perez, all you're hoping for is a chance late in the game. Well, they've got that chance right here.
Ready to go. Hut.
Jarvian Howard on 1st down. They stop him after a short pickup. And this is where you would love to see Hakeem Butler, who led the league in receiving, but he has been quiet tonight because the defense has made him quiet. 2 catches, 18 yards. They haven't given him any breathing room.
Well, they've got someone right in his face, so it's tough for him to get off the line of scrimmage. And then they've also got someone over the top. See right here, you got 2 players right on top of Hakeem Butler.
Hut.
They're intent on not letting him beat them. Here's Perez. Throws it back towards Butler over the middle. No flags. Good coverage by Keaton Ellis.
Boy, a lot of contact there as well, but letting them play. Butler found himself in the middle of the field, and he had a little bit of space right here, but this is that double team I was talking about. And now you've got a safety in Keaton Ellis, and he's just looking at Butler. It basically is man coverage. Did he arrive early? Probably. Officials hold on to their flag. Butler can't hold on, and it's 3rd down.
Ready to go.
They can pick up a first and 44. Quick pass, again intended for Butler. He makes the catch this time, but no run afterwards thanks to Steele Chambers.
Boy, I think that you've got to go for this at this point, and they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Hey, flip 52, kill Denver. On one, ready? Flip 52, kill Denver.
And it's a little bit over a yard they need to get.
Viper, ready to go.
Jarvian Howard falls forward, reaches out, and gets the first.
True Streak, 91 Z True Streak, NASCAR. Z True Streak, 91.
Hey, 91 at fast check.
They hurry back to the line of scrimmage.
Ready to go. Hut.
Perez along the sideline, open is McBride, and he takes it into Louisville territory, moves the chains as well on a nice pickup of 15.
Well, McBride has been the main target tonight. That's his 6th catch, and he's got 10 targets as well, and all that attention being paid to big number 88, the big play receiver Hakeem Butler on the other side. McBride has done a great job of providing access for his quarterback for those easy completions opposite of Butler.
I think they want to get a play off before the 2-minute warning here.
Viper, ready to go.
They do, just barely. Perez over the middle, high, McBride bobbles it. He was open, the pass was just a little bit too high for him to control. It will take us to the 2-minute warning. It's a one-score game. The winner advances to the UFL championship. Okay, on the previous play, there was 2:20 left on the game clock when the tackle was made. St. Louis tried to hurry up. Well, they didn't try to hurry up.
I mean,
that was the opposite.
They took forever. You would think that they're trying to get a snap off before the 2-minute warning, but they took forever. Perez taking too much time, and so they ended up snapping the football, but it was just under 2 minutes. Now, the officials let them play, but in review, and correctly so, in the command center, Dean, he voided that play. So here's what we got now. We still have 1st and 10 at 2 minutes. So they replayed that. They said they did not get the snap off. So we're going back to the 2-minute warning. No snap, 1st and 10, right hash.
So 2 minutes on the clock. Ball's at the 40 still, but first down.
Ready to go.
But they missed an opportunity to get a play off before the warning. Here's Perez in trouble, sacked again. Cam Gill, his first sack of the ball game, and it comes at an opportune time.
I tell you, man, you can just feel the effort, Brock, from Cam Gill on these pass rushes. He is just getting after it.
Money time.
90. Viper, ready to go.
Perez steps up. Rolling is Blake Jackson, who makes the catch.
Yeah, beautiful catch there from Blake Jackson.
And it gets the first down.
And Perez did a nice job in the pocket, manipulating, getting some time. Looks like Louisville's got a player down. That's Travis Bell.
Louisville is charged with its 2nd team timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
Hey, listen, they're jumping the cadence very good. Let me get a dummy call.
Yeah, well, you can do it here. Huddle up. We're going to chip the end too. Everyone in here, we're going to be blue. Take care of the football here.
Yeah.
Okay, dummy one. Y shift the strong right. 71, Pirate Z Poco. Dummy, watch the ball. Blue.
Hey, you got to come back. Yeah. Hey, eyes.
They're going to try and get some 3 yards here?
Yeah, they're going to try to go dummy cadence. Brock, that's probably a really good idea from their quarterback, Luis Perez, and then a Z Poco. That's post corner.
So be aware, not just even the free 5 yards. Maybe be aware here to keep that play alive. Right, the old Aaron Rodgers, when you get him to jump, then you got a great shot to take an explosive over the top.
Ready to go. Hut.
They drew him off, but the left tackle jumped up.
Well, I think he only jumped
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 44. 5-yard penalty, first down.
But the point I'm making is that Brock was saying They could have continued to play and maybe gotten a big chunk play.
That's right.
That dropped the play dead as soon as the left tackle moved.
The operation there is that you want the center to just snap the football right away. When someone jumps into the neutral zone, snap, and then you run the play, in particular, take the shot. Same play, though, Z-Poco, that's top of your screen. McBride's got a post corner.
So after the free 5, here's Perez. Holds on to it too long. This time it's Lonnie Phelps with the sack.
Well, they're going to have to hurry now. This pass rush getting after it. They'll get back onside, and they're going to have to get McBride lined up on the opposite side as well.
Viper, ready to go. Fast check.
Perez dumps it off. Howard spinning his way down inside the 20. Good second effort by Jarvian Howard to move the chains. It'll be first down from the 15.
Boy, he just continues to run hard and through those arm tackles on those checkdowns. Now Louisville is going to try to substitute, but St. Louis didn't sub, so they're going to have to run on quickly.
Viper!
They jumped again.
Oh, he jumped.
In a neutral zone infraction, defense number 46, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Man, they're just doing a great job with the cadence here. We heard it in that last time out in that huddle, and you can tell, there he goes, he jumps offside again. Cam Gill trying to get into the backfield, get to the quarterback. That pass rush has been very good for Louisville here in the second half. But now you get into the red zone, Brock, and this is where, even with the double, I don't know if you can double Akeem Butler, because now you can go back shoulder to 88 if you want to here at the bottom of your screen.
And remember, Luis extending the play with his legs on the last touchdown pass. Got to be creative sometimes.
Creating space. And he falls incomplete right in front of McBride. Stops the clock with 47 seconds left on second down.
Have a timeout. We're good. Go trips right, 60 Aggie, X and Z 9. Will and Dill.
Look at me.
60 Aggie. Will and Dill, what you see.
60. Substituted a tackle. Hey, he's getting a new left tackle, guys. Bradley Ashmore runs on the field late. Cole, number 70, he's going to be blocking the guy with 11 sacks on the year.
Ready to go.
Perez, that was brought at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. Trips right, Detroit dog. We don't get this called a timeout. I'm calling a draw right. Check out of it if it's any pressure. Trips right, Detroit dog.
St. Louis needing a touchdown and a 3-point conversion to tie it.
I like this call.
Yeah, I do too. He's going to have wide linebackers, so he's counting on this to get a draw.
Draw play. Howard hit the backfield, keeps going. Flag down on the play as he gets inside the 5.
Boy, is this going to be another St. Louis penalty, Brock?
10 yards, third down. Holding, offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty, third down.
8th play of the game. This time Abdul Beecham called for it.
Man, these guys on the defensive line, they're just playing with such effort, and all you can do at some point is hold. There's the hold from Beecham in the backfield.
Smash. Hey, Blake.
And even though Howard was able to run through that arm tackle, and these fans are thinking, not again. Remember, the last 2 years, St. Louis has lost in the semifinal in this building, and here down 9, 37 seconds.
Hut.
On 3rd. Perez into the end zone. It was broken up. And they call it an interception. Steel Chambers did hold on to the football. And Louisville shuts the door with 32 seconds left.
Well, they're finally just trying to attack with Butler right down the middle of the field, but Steel Chambers from his linebacker spot, he runs right underneath this, and he undercuts it. Did he hold on to that ball? It does look like he secured that interception before it hit the ground. That is an incredible play from Steel Chambers. To be underneath of that route, and then does he keep that off the turf? It looks like he does in that left hand. Just incredible, and Louisville is going to be able to take a knee, one timeout for St. Louis, and they're going to the United Bowl.
In their first year of existence, the Louisville Kings will play for a championship. They will go into D.C. next week to take on the D.C. Defenders on Saturday. That game will be on ABC. The winner of the United Bowl will be crowned champions of the UFL.
Hey, tell your boy, man. Seriously.
That's the end of the game.
Pushing late, you walk. Oh, no, we're good. We got to play next week. Hey, John, we got to play next week. We got to play. We're good.
That's a good reminder. Chris Redmond, don't get suspended. We've got a game to play.
Hey, let's go. Stop it, John.
And so it'll be the defending champion, DC Defenders, trying to make it back-to-back titles. They'll get to host the United Bowl, where this brand new team, the Louisville Kings, will get a chance to win it all in their first season. 29-20, Louisville wins this semifinal matchup in St. Louis. Coming up next on Fox, we've got IndyCar racing from St. Louis as well. For Joel Klatt, Brock Hewitt, and our entire Fox Sports crew, I'm Kurt Menefee saying thank you for joining us all season long for the UFL. Good luck, ABC.